hard on you. This is probably going to be one of those videos where you're either going to really, really like me and appreciate what I'm telling you, or you're going to look at me with a side eye and probably be like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know about those three things. But if you're open to hearing from me and finding out what it is that I actually want to say and what ideas I want to present to you, then stick around. This video is for you. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I know it's not a lot of people on the channel, but I appreciate every single one, okay? And if you would like to get notifications whenever I drop a new video, hit the notification bell right down there at the bottom. And every time I drop some new content, you'll be the first to know. And if you don't mind, watch at least one free video each day. And please tell somebody about the channel. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. That way YouTube's algorithm can take these videos and share them with more people like you who need this content. So somebody told me the other day I was a breath of fresh air. And so now I understand what that means. It had to be that the person was saying that the way I do my explaining and the way I think in terms of versus traditionalisms and versus what society and school and our parents and the generations that passed taught us about finances, I'm kind of in the opposite corner. So I'm kind of I used to watch a lot of wrestling, and bad guys in wrestling, they're called heels. So I'm kind of a heel guy instead of a baby face, a good guy. And so, but that's okay with me because I understand what I'm up against. I understand that the things that we've been taught, things you've been taught, things I've been taught about money and finances, those things used to actually work. That used to be good advice. So if you go back 10, 15, 20 years, to go to school to get a degree and get a good job, that job was, it could have been considered a good job. People were working careers. Now you hear about that anymore. It's very seldom that you even hear about someone working 5 or 10 years on a job. That with 10 years now being ridiculous on the same job. So go back just a few years ago, our parents, our grandparents were working 20, 30, 40 years on a job and retire. And so these jobs had these guaranteed pension plans. And so when your grandparents retired, they received lifetime benefits, lifetime retirement, right? And so, but think about it. When was the last time you heard somebody talk about getting a retirement check? Just doesn't happen. So for you and I, the days of working for 40 years for one company, those days are gone. So although that was good advice back in the day, it's no longer good advice, right? And so we're going to talk about 3 other things. That's just one I could have put on the list, but I'm just going to do 3 today because I don't know, that's a Sesame Street number for the day, so that's enough. And but I could really go on and on with this, but I don't want to take up a lot of time. I just want to share this information with you. And if you're getting any type of value out of these videos, just press the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. That's the only way I know that these lessons in midday, because I try to come on as often as I can around lunchtime. Sometimes I'm late. I don't have a lunchtime. I'm just thinking about your lunchtime. I can lunch whenever I want. Because I work from my phone. So that gives me freedom. But really quickly, let's dive into it. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that not only the middle class, but the working poor are obsessed with. Now, and we've been trained this way and taught this way. And you guys think that these things are it's written in stone, it's rules, it's the 10 commandments of finance, and it's not. I should do a video about the 10 commandments of finance, not the old commandments. The new commandments after the desert, okay, after the wilderness. And thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who subscribed and thumbs up. And by the way, if you have a question or comment, drop it. If I see it, I'll get to it. I hate that I have to say this because I assume everybody to be intelligent and grown enough. But please don't put anything that's disrespectful in the comments. I will straight up remove it, and I will straight up block you from the channel. So if you're going to be stupid on your own time. For everybody else who's intelligent and here to learn about something, this channel's for you. All right. So not for the 90%. The 90% are the unprepared. You always hear me talk about that. And then there's the 10%, the prepared, those who want to do better in life. There's the progressives, the 10%. There's the non-progressives, the 90%. So I always got a kick out of it where they say, hey, the average person, and as soon as a sentence starts with the average person relating to finances, I already know I'm in trouble if I'm average. So the average person makes $60,000 a year or less, probably lower than that, right? The average person can't afford a house. My advice to you, don't be average. I've been average. It ain't fun. You don't want to be in that position. So really quickly, let's talk about, because I know you guys have to get back to work, and I respect that. So even though I don't have a job per se, I do own a middleman business. I do respect the fact that you guys work. I want you to start a middleman business and build your own business and make money when you're not at work, but I don't want you to quit your job until your middleman business makes enough money for you to quit your job. So I'm always fair with that. I'm always telling the truth. I know there's a lot of channels on here that'll fluff you and just tell you anything. Invest $100 a month, get rich, make $1 million, start a business, make $1 million in 90 days, quit your business overnight. Listen, those people are lying to you. I have integrity. I'm not saying all of them don't. There are some good people, but I know there's a lot of fluff out on YouTube. If you agree with me, put the number 1 in the comments. If you know YouTube has a lot of people that are willing to lie to you just to get views and just to get subscriptions, put a 1 in the comment if you know that. Me, listen, I'm not that person. I'm not going to do that to you. That's not fair. Somebody put it in there to say, yep, YouTube's willing to lie and tell you anything. Listen, that's not me. I sleep at night. I don't want to have that on my conscience. I'm not here to lie to you. I started my middleman business in 2020. I made 77,000. I wish it was more. That's all it was. But the best part about it, I did it from home. 2024, we're on pace to do $350,000. Still not $1 million. I hope it's $1 million soon, but it's not right now. And that's fine because I still get to work from home. So I always tell you guys and all my students in my middleman masterclass that I'll teach you how to build a middleman business from your phone where you can find customers for service businesses in your area or in any city, it doesn't matter. And you'll get it to $1 million. I appreciate it. And you can find businesses for other people and you can find services and attach them to the services. So essentially you find customers for businesses, whether it's in your area, another city, it's fine. It's up to you. You do it over the phone so you don't have to physically be there. There are advantages to start a business in a local area because you do get to geographically, physically advertise. Whereas if I'm here in Dallas and I start my business in Atlanta, I really can't go out and pass out business cards like that. So most of it's done online. So if you do it out of town, it's online, mostly advertising, very organic. So it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I don't want you to go fast anyway, because you'll be overwhelmed. But if you do it in a local area, you can go out and learn how to do it physically. And that's an easier start, even though I have a business. I live in Dallas, but I have a middleman business in Jacksonville, my cleaning service, home cleaning service. Now, I don't clean anything and I don't want to. And I don't even clean my own house. And but I'm partnered with a company there and we work together. So, and I have a moving service here in Dallas, and I don't own trucks. I don't own crew. I don't do any moving. We simply just find customers, get paid to do that, send the work to somebody else. It's that easy. If it sounds familiar, Uber does it. Uber doesn't own the car. They just find a rider, find a driver, connect you and get paid. It's that simple. So, but if you want to get in there, if you want to get into the training, I think I'll be able to do possibly one more training. And this is for everyone, for whoever has not been in the middleman training. I'm going to be doing one more training because I don't know how many more I can do. I'm getting more students than I thought I would get. So really quickly, I'm going to be doing one more training, and that training is going to be, what is today's date? Let me check because I never know. Today is the 10th. So let's see. So it'll be Sunday. That's the only day I can do it. So the 10th, today's the 10th is Wednesday. I want to say Sunday's the 14th. Can somebody check that for me? I'll just put the 14th. So 4/14, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to be my last, probably my last training. So for anyone who has not been in the training, this is your last chance. Jump in the training. It's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to show you what I do from my phone, how to make money. And so again, I'm promising you Sunday, gotcha. And I'm promising you, yep, Sunday. So I'm not promising you that you'll get rich or anything like that, guys. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not going to fluff you like that. I hope you get rich. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not promising you to make $1 million a year. I don't even make $1 million a year. I hope to get there, and I hope you get there. But what I am promising you that if you do what I teach you to do, you won't have to always sell your time for money on a job. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in this breakdown. And if you do what I tell you to do, as long as you make enough money to cover your bills, that means you don't have to go to work to pay your bills. That means you are free. So I'm not going to teach you to be rich, even though I want you to be rich. I'm mainly going to teach you how to be free because life's about time more than it's about anything else. So, all right, let's dive into it real quick. If you want to get into that training, put the word middleman in the comments under any of my videos. And my assistant, Cynthia, she's going to reach out to you and give you an invite. If you do not get an invite, that means we're full. So do it quickly. All right, let's dive into it. We're going to talk about some middle-class obsessions that are killing your finances, right? And so we'll start, now these will probably be controversial to you. They're not controversial to me because I understand them. But for a lot of you guys, this will be the first time you hear this. This will be the first time somebody's sharing this with you, right? So I'm hoping that it gets your attention, that it wakes you up and makes you say, let me think about this. And that's all I ask, right? So one thing that's killing middle-class money, I mean, killing your money, middle class, number one, and this is going to give me a lot of trouble. I already know these things are. Number one, you continue to believe that time is money. This is going to wipe out the middle class totally. Why? Because as long as you believe that time is money, you're going to be willing to trade your entire life. Time is your life. I don't know if you know it or not, but time is life. You get 24 hours in a day. You spend 8 of them on a job on average. 2,100 hours a year. 2,000. It's a lot of time that you don't get to do what you want to do. Now, what would you do? And you don't have to answer this, but what would you do with 2,000 extra hours per year to do whatever you want to do? Think of what your life would look like if you didn't have to work to make money. Think of that. What would you do with your extra time? What would you do? You would spend time with family, you would travel, you would try new things, you would learn different hobbies. You could literally do whatever you want to do. You could go into the backyard, stare off into the trees, take a nap in the middle of the day. It's whatever you want to do. But as long as you continue to think that time is money, then you will always be willing to trade time for money. So anytime that you need more money, you're going to be looking at how to sell more time. And what you don't know, but I know, but you don't know that I know, and I'll let you know, is that time is a limited resource. You're running out of it very quickly. And so I don't want you to run out of your time. I want you to understand that time is not money. That time is infinitely, you can't even measure it, more valuable than money. Right? So I always use this example, and I do it because it makes sense. If I was to write you a $10 million check today and you go down to the bank and cash it, and I won't do it because it'd get both of us in trouble. But if I had it, right, and I sent you down to the bank and the bank cashed the check and gave you the money, that would be an awesome thing. But if the only catch is whenever you cash the check, you cannot wake up tomorrow morning, then how many people in their right minds would cash the check? Nobody, right? Because even without thinking about it, we know that no amount of money is worth our time. Although we sell it for the minimum all day long, 8 hours a day, we give it up. We sell our time. Companies buy our time from us until they no longer need us and they send us home, right? Because they're not going to retire you. I don't care what they say. They're not going to retire you. Your 401k, it won't be there. They're going to, boy, let me stop before I start scaring y'all. Look, I'll just tell you straight up. If you have a 401k, I don't think it's going to be there long. The debt I'll just show you something real quick. I didn't even mean to talk about this, but I just want y'all to know how this thing works. The debt for the USA government is 30, as far as I know right now, it's about 33. I'll just put a T because that's unrealistic. $33 trillion is a negative $33 trillion account. Not billions, not millions, trillions of dollars. Right? And so the only way the government can pay this back to the Fed, so the government borrows money from the Fed, Federal Reserve. Not federal, not a reserve, not a bank, go figure. They borrow money from there. They use the money to do whatever they need to do. And then the Fed says, how are you going to pay me back? The government says, for all the people that's going to work, because we trained them to get jobs, we're going to tax their checks. And then we're going to pay you back out of their checks. Right? There's so much debt that your generation and my generation cannot pay that back. So we are debted out as a nation. There's no way this nation is going to be able to survive with this amount of debt. And they're at the point now where there's no return. So I just want to fill you in on that if you ever wonder, man, how did everything get so expensive? Money. There's too much money in the economy. High interest rates, they raised them up, try to slow it down, didn't work. Now we're really in a jam because the Fed doesn't know what to do. That's why interest rates are paused. Because if they lower the interest rate, the money floods back into the economy. Now that because usually when you raise the interest rates, it's supposed to decrease money supply and decrease demand. So the supply should be higher than the demand, and that drives down pricing. That's how you get a clearance section in the store. The problem is the interest rates were high, but the demand didn't fall. Now we got a real problem. You know why? Number two. Here's why. Number one, killing your finances. Time equals money. As long as you continue to think that time is money, you'll be willing to trade your whole life for a paycheck. I'm telling you, that's a hard way to live. That's prison. Your job isn't secure. It's not safe. Your paycheck is prison. Your whole life is built around it. If anything happens to your paycheck, if your paycheck gets disrupted, your life gets disrupted. That's a dangerous way to live. That's why you have to make money when you're not at work, just in case something happens, and it will. But you want to be prepared. This is the 10%. This here, the 90%. 10% prepared, 90% unprepared. Watch this. Number two, and I was just talking about this. You know why the prices aren't falling? Because people are obsessed. Obsessed with what? Buying houses. That's why the housing market hasn't crashed. People are obsessed with buying houses. They're obsessed with owning houses. They don't care what the interest rates are. They don't care what the house is going to cost. They've been trained so well and conditioned and programmed so well in their subconscious that they would pay anything to be a homeowner, because somehow in their mind, it solidifies them as an adult or a responsible person or whatever the hell it does. But it appeases them in some way that even I don't understand. My goal, and I tell people, listen, my goal is not to be a homeowner. Yes, we want to own a home. Yes, we want to live in a house. Yes, we're going to build our dream home. But that's not the goal. The goal is freedom. Then all those other things come after that, because I keep telling you, time is the most important thing in life. In fact, life is measured in time. Life is not measured in dollar amount. No, it's measured in time. You run out of money, you don't die. You run out of time, hello. Smash thumbs up if this is giving you any value. People are obsessed, the middle class, the 90% are obsessed with owning houses. What does that do? Well, that creates this thing called a 30-year death pledge. Yeah, I said it right, 30-year death pledge. Now, they don't call it a death pledge because nobody would buy it. They actually changed the name to mortgage. But think about the word mortgage or mort. Where do you see this word? That word means death. Morgue means death. Mortuary means death, right? Mortician, death. But they're not going to sell you a death pledge because nobody would buy it. So they renamed it a mortgage, which is a death pledge. And so now you have a 30-year mortgage. The only way you know how to pay for it is with your job, your paycheck from a job. So now for 30 years, you have to keep that job in order to pay that mortgage. If you lose that job at any time, you might potentially lose your house. Nothing is safe. And I keep telling you guys that. The rules of the game has changed, but you still keep you still keep trying to play by the old rules. The game's changed. You have to catch up. You're going to get left behind. So people are obsessed with buying houses. And what does that do? Put them into a 30-year financial obligation, i.e. prison. I'm not against owning homes. I'm not. I'm just against owning home with a paycheck. If you just ask yourself, all right, I want to get a home, fine, I have no problems with that. But here's what you need to ask yourself. How am I going to pay for this house for the next 30 years? And if your answer is your paycheck, don't buy the house. Don't buy the house. Please don't. That's prison. So trading time for money, killing the middle class money. Another reason is well, not only are you trading your life for money, but again, if you run out of time to sell, you have no way to make money. Obsessed with buying houses. The middle class love houses. The government knows it. Everyone knows it. The middle class love houses. Yeah, you see the rich people sell their houses, downsize, rent, travel, move around. But the middle class are obsessed with buying these things called houses. Cars too, I could add that to the list. Vacations too, that I could add that to the list. Right? So these things are killing the middle class. Time equals money. Housing, buying houses. And the third thing, and I know it's going to get you mad at me, even more than houses. Because again, I'm not against you owning homes, so don't jump in the comments with that. I'm against you owning a home with a paycheck as your way to pay for it. That means however long that payment is, that's how long you have to keep the paycheck because you don't have another way to make money. I'm just saying. Very last one, this one's probably going to get me in trouble and you're probably going to want to fire me after this, but just hear me out. The very last thing that's killing the middle class money, killing the 90%, it's killing your finances, savings accounts. What? Did he just say what I think he said? I absolutely did say it, and I'll repeat it. The thing that's killing your finances is savings accounts. Your focus is on saving money. I'm not telling you that you should have a zero in your savings account. I'm not against you having a savings account. I'm against you focusing on having a savings account, meaning every time you make an additional income, you pour it into the savings account. So for instance, you might be sitting there today with $10,000 in a savings account. Here's what you don't know. Money is only useful when it's used. If it's not used, it's useless. Money is only useful when it's used. If it's not used, it's useless. What does that mean? That means if you park, and I'm just using an example, if you park $10,000 in a bank, then what's going to happen is the bank is going to come in and the bank is going to take that 10K, send it out, and they're going to make money off of it through a loan and interest rate payments. Then they're going to pay you for loaning it 0% interest. You are essentially supplying Walmart with all kinds of products to sell, and they don't pay you for the products you provide, but they use it to make money. That's like, let me give you a good example. All right, so in the malls, they have these cookie stores that I like called, I think it's called like American Cookies or something like that. And so imagine if I came there every day and brought them dozens and dozens of cookies to sell, and I didn't charge them anything. I gave it to them for free. They turn around, they take the cookies, they sell them and make a profit. They don't give me anything. Who's winning? Who's losing? I'm losing. This is the bank system. They pay you 0% interest because they trained you well. They know you're going to deposit your check. In fact, they don't even have to think about it. There's this thing called direct deposit that automatically funnels the check. Am I right? And so now your money goes into a savings account. Really doesn't, but let's just say it does. Now, every time you work, make extra money, you pour it into a savings account. Bank takes it, make money, gives you nothing. That money's not even in your account. Oh, it's on your app. That's just a computer program. It's not in your account. Go get it. Go find out. Hey, I need to get my $10,000 out. Can you come back tomorrow? They don't have your money. They're using it to make money. So banks tell you to save and they don't save. My problem with having a savings account is because most of you are going to say, hey, I'm focused on a rainy day and I'm worried that if I might have an emergency. My advice to you is, first of all, don't manifest an emergency into your life nor a rainy day. Secondly, when was the last time you had to spend $10,000 on an emergency? $10,000 on a rainy day? I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying how likely or how often does it happen? When was the last time you had to spend $1,000 in a day because you had an emergency or a rainy day? Just doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I'm not saying they won't, but if it does happen, because a lot of things are out of our control, but if it does happen, there are ways that you can cover that. A lot of times you don't have to pay for it up front. You can finance it, right? So if you have an emergency, they don't always want the money right there. They'll let you make payments. So you don't need the savings for that. Okay. What if I lose my job and I got to pay some bills? Okay, gotcha. Then if while you're, because here's the worst thing that's going to happen. You lose your job, you rely on your savings, you go through your savings, you're broke again. My advice to you is while you still have a job, go ahead and start a side business. I'm not going to say side hustle because I want you to be professional. Go ahead and start a side business. Let that business grow. So when you're not at work, you come home, work on your side business, let it make money. Once it makes enough money, you can quit your job or keep your job. But if something happens on your job, it's okay because your side hustle, I'm sorry, I said it again, your side business makes money. And so now if you lose your job, it's all good because your side business has been making money. Does that make sense? So again, guys, saving money in a bank account is just dead money. You have to use that money. When was the last time you've been around a rich person or even heard a rich person talk about they need to save money? They never do. They're never talking about saving money. They're only talking about using money to make more money, right? So these are 3 quick examples. Trading time for money is going to kill your finances because you're working with a limited resource. You're going to run out of time. Then what do you sell, right? Second, people are obsessed with buying houses. The middle class and 90% obsessed with buying houses. This keeps them in financial debt. They save up $100,000 just to go put a down payment on a house. Could have started a business, could have done something great, used the money to make more money. But now it's all gone, pulled into a house that if you miss a payment, they're going to come get that and they're not giving you $100,000 back. Makes no sense, right? Again, I'm not against buying a house. I'm against buying a house with a paycheck, right? Savings account. I'm not against savings account. I'm just against focusing and piling bunches of money into a savings account, not realizing that that money is dead. It doesn't do anything for you. It just sits there. But I get to see it on the app. That's cute, but it ain't there. It does nothing for you. Why are you working 2 jobs just to put money into a savings account that you don't even need? Come on. Use that money to make more money. Use that time to build a business, right? My advice to you is while you still have a job, work on your side business. Create a side business, a way to make money when you're not at work. Yeah, I don't care what you do. You can bake cookies. You can walk dogs. I don't care what you do. Find a way to make money when you're not at work. If you want to do what I do, I'll teach you how to start your own middleman business. You're going to book, deposit, dispatch. That's all you're going to do. Book customers for service providers in your area. You're going to take a deposit from the customer. That's when the money goes into your account. Then you're going to dispatch the work, send it to someone else, an ISP, independent service professional or contractor, and they're going to do the work and make their own money. It has nothing to do with you. I just book customers, get paid, send the work to somebody else. They do all the work. I'm done. And I get to enjoy life and enjoy my day. If you want to learn how to do it, jump in the Middleman Masterclass. Is going to be this Sunday, 7 p.m. I think it's the 14th. 7 p.m. this Sunday. Do not miss it. Do not be late. This is Texas time, Central Standard Time. If you want to get a link to the free training, put Middleman in the comments under any of my videos. Please don't miss it. I promise it's going to change your life. I got to go, guys. I know this probably made some of you upset, the 90%, but I'm hoping to convert you to the 10%, those who are prepared, right? The progressives. So I hope this blesses you in some way. It blesses me to be able to teach this. I know everybody's not going to agree. By the way, please share your comments and thoughts. I love it. And I love to go through it and go back and forth with you. And but again, this is a hard way to live. And most people are living this way. And that's why they can't get out of financial purgatory. Don't be in financial purgatory. Learn to make money when you're not at work. All right. Don't focus on trading time for money. You're running out of time. Most valuable thing. Don't focus on being a homeowner or a loan owner. Focus on creating passive income, creating a business. Don't focus on having a savings account and piling money in there that you don't even use, but the banks use, but you don't use. Banks getting rich, you don't get rich. Why keep supplying them with product? They don't even pay you for it. So instead of doing that, use the money to start a business, get some books, get a course, get some training, get some mentorship, get some coaching. I don't care. Whatever you have to do, learn how to use the money to make money. That's what they do. Do what the banks do, not what they say. Is that fair? All right, guys, have a wonderful, blessed day. I got great news, man. Somebody mentioned to me that we could probably start doing some Bible studies. I always tell you it's faith, it's family, and then it's finance. Nothing more important than faith. And so maybe that's something we can start doing in the future. So let's be blessed. Have a wonderful day and bless somebody else. You're welcome to screenshot this. I hope this blesses you. And but I'll see you guys in the next video. Tell somebody else about the channel. Hit subscribe. Hit thumbs up. And if you want to get into the Middleman Masterclass, put Middleman in the comments. If you want to skip that and say, hey, look, I don't even need the training, bro. I'm willing to work with you, because in VIP, you're going to work with me one-on-one. I'm going to teach you how to build a business step by step as we go. If you're like, hey, let's get into that course, let's get into the training, then write Masterclass, or just put VIP in the comments. Just put VIP. That's easier. Put VIP in the comments. You'll get a link, and I'll try to provide you with a discount link. I'll do you that if you do. And instead of paying a big amount for the class, I'll give you a discounted link, because the course is going up to $2,500. It's worth it. We have students averaging right now about $3,800 their first month, so it's really worth it. And they're only going to get better. So I'm excited. I want to help you. If you want to get directly into the masterclass, just put VIP in the comments on the end of the videos. You get that discount link, and it's not going to be $2,500. It's going to save you a lot of money, and it's going to bless you. And if you want to get into the live training this Sunday night, which will probably be my last, I'm not sure, but it's looking like it is going to be, because I got a bunch of students that I didn't think I was going to have, but I want to spend time with everybody. So put Middleman in the comments. Either way, you'll see me. I'll be with you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Tell somebody about the channel, and please consider subscribing. Thank you so much. What do you think about the content? Peace.